Today we are going to be dealing with our necks. So for whatever reason you've come to this video, I'm sure because you're experiencing symptoms of pain, discomfort, tension, lack of movement, or maybe you can only turn this far for whatever reason. Now this can be caused often by us looking at our phones a little bit too much, bending the head forward, working on our computers in a way that we're not used to, sitting down too much, all of the things that we're all having to do a lot of at the moment. So our tools for today will be a foam roller. We'll need a band as well. If you don't have a band, then please use a pair of tights or something like that. I've got a pair of trousers that I've folded up, and you'll need something similar, and you might need 2 sets of trousers. Okay, so to begin with, we're going to need to soften up all of these really tight tissues which are causing the pain. So we're going to start off by rolling out the waist. Although you wouldn't think it, rolling out the waist is really, really helpful because softening up the obliques, the muscles around the waist that help us with rotation, is actually going to give us more movement all the way through the spine. So the roller is fitting into my waist at the moment, just in that space between the hip and the ribs. I might take my top foot to here so that I can just maneuver myself back towards the spine a little bit further. I might rest my head in my hand just to stop this side of my neck having to bear the weight of my head. Okay, so if you feel like you want to continue for a little while, that's absolutely fine. Just pause the video and carry on rolling your waist. Otherwise, you can come with me, just change what we're doing slightly and take the roller now underneath the shoulder. So it's just to the side of the shoulder blade. If you're a girl, then about where your bra strap line would be. The lower arm this time will be relaxed and the top hand takes over to support the weight of the head. So we're rolling from side to side again. Start to work your way up towards the shoulder. Maybe down a little bit further depending on where you're feeling the tension. Lovely. So we're releasing our lats and serratus at the moment, both of which will have an effect on the movement of the rib cage. And again, if we're not able to breathe deeply enough, then we're going to end up having problems in the neck, simply because there's a lack of movement through the thoracic spine. So that's one of the key things about sorting out a neck problem, is mobilizing the thoracic spine. Okay, again, pause me if you like, otherwise come with me. We'll take the roller to the upper arm now, so into triceps. The head this time can rest on the arm. You might have a little support from the top hand on the floor. And now we're going to start to roll along the length of the upper arm from elbow to shoulder. Make sure you don't roll over your elbow though, that wouldn't be pleasant at all, as I'm sure you can imagine. So you might feel a little there, you might be surprised at how much you can feel there. Lovely. So now we're going to come up to sitting. Take hold of either the ankles or the top knee. The side that you were just rolling, we're just going to reach over and away from that side and allow that side to open up. Lovely. Excellent. So let's bring the roller onto the other side now. Do the same again, starting in the waist. Top knee bent, top foot supporting you. Lower hand supporting the head to begin with. And then just slowly start to work your way east to west. Nice deep, slow breaths. Feel free to wait around on any bits that you feel, oh yeah, that's really, really working out for me. And again, if you want to pause, then please do. You're going to take the roller up to the shoulder now. Relax the lower arm, the top hand takes over. And again, rolling gently east to west. Again, nice deep breaths. You might feel a cool sensation in your fingers, that's completely fine. But if you feel any sharp pain or any sinister pain when you're rolling, it's probably best to move the roller because you may well be on a nerve. Okay. So I'm going to move on now and take the roller up to triceps. Relax the head on the arm, so you're squashing the tissue squashing the arm between your head and the roller, just adding that little bit more weight through the roller. Keep the movements nice and slow, controlled. Wonderful. Okay, so we can take ourselves up and away from the roller. Again, hold on to the ankles or maybe the top knee. The side you just rolled is going to have a nice deep stretch now, just leaning away from the roller. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to turn our back to the roller now and take ourselves down onto the ribs with the hands behind the head, with your fingers interlaced, so that you can drop your head into your hands and relax your neck. The elbows are pointing towards the ceiling. We're going to lift the hips away from the floor if it feels okay, but keep them on the floor if you want. And now rock the shoulders from side to side so that you can see your elbows sliding from left to right. We're gently pressing the ribs away from the spine, creating a little bit more space between the shoulder blades, giving the rhomboids a little stretch. It can often be a cause of a lot of neck pain, having too much tension between the shoulder blades and the upper trapezius also. Okay, so now we're going to start to roll the roller south again, just smoothly rolling down towards the bottom of the ribs, ready to rock the shoulders again to take ourselves back up to the shoulders. Just going as far as you can, putting the elbows closer and closer together. Okie dokie. So we're going to make our way down to the bottom of the rib cage, so just underneath the shoulder blades. Once you're here, now the shoulders are going to stay still. Instead, the pelvis is going to rock gently from left to right, lowering one hip and then the other, feeling a little twist between the vertebrae and the spine and working your way up so that we're releasing each and every one in turn. Okay, so when my neck goes into any kind of spasm, this particular technique really, really helps me a lot. Lovely. Okay, so again, you can do that a couple more times if you want to. I'm going to lower my hips to the floor, reach my hands around the backs of the legs, and lengthen my legs ahead of me. Now I want to give the whole spine a little stretch. So I'm going to exhale. Imagine my tailbone is plugged into the floor as I start to slowly reach towards the toes. And then we can come back up again. Lovely. When we have very tight muscles, if they're dysfunctional as yours must be for you to be watching this, then we don't want to stretch for any long period of time. Now, next, come onto your back with your head on the roller. This is going to feel nice. Your hands can just rest on your ribs, and we're going to roll the roller almost into the top of the shoulders, shuffling your shoulders towards the roller. Once you're there, you should feel the roller pressing into the base of the skull. We're going to exhale and allow our head to feel even heavier. Now very slowly start to roll your head towards me. Feel the roller pushing into the base of the skull. There's lots and lots and lots of connections between the neck and the skull, and we want them all to calm down. Taking the head back to the center. Now you might have tightened up a little bit, so consciously relax your neck as you take it away from me. Rolling carefully and slowly from ear to ear. And this just feels great. This feels great no matter what's going on with your neck. You can try and visualize all of the tension and stress that you're holding in the scalp, just releasing and melting away. Now this is quite a good diagnostic tool as well, because while we're doing this, we can really start to realize exactly where we're feeling tight. You'll probably have one or two points along the base of the skull that you think, oh wow, that's really, really getting somewhere. So feel free to stop and wait on one of those points, on each of those points. When you do that, you could be there for maybe a minute and a half before you feel the muscle relaxing. So by all means, please pause the video and do that for me now. Okay, so hopefully you've given yourself a little bit of time to work on those particular niggly points that you could really feel. So now we're going to take the roller away altogether. Relax the head down onto the floor. Now at this point, you might need to have something underneath the back of your head. If your neck is doing this, then you need to raise it up a little bit. So you can grab one of your rolled up pairs of trousers, and I'm going to grab my rolled up pair of trousers to do something else with, so grab your other pair as well if you need it. So for now, we're going to take a breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to nod the chin towards the chest and feel the back of the neck lengthening. Breathe in as you relax and allow your neck to go back to whatever kind of arched position it might be in. Now we'll breathe out again. Feel as though you're pushing the bones of the neck down towards the floor. I want you to say, "Oh," as loudly as you can. Rather off-putting for anybody else in the room, so apologies. I want you to feel as though you're gargling mouthwash, trying to make the sound very, very deep and low. Oh. Now, if your neck is dysfunctional and the high extensors, so the muscles that extend the neck and tip it up, so you're looking up, if those are tight, it's going to be very difficult for you to achieve that deep sound, but please persevere. The muscles that create that deep sound are in part are linked to the same muscles that create that gargling sound. So the muscles that create flexion also create that gargling sound. So that's why we're making it. I can't hear you. Louder. Much louder. Okay, so we'll stop there. Now, grab your rolled up pair of trousers or whatever you're using, and we're going to pop that underneath the chin. So essentially, we're giving ourselves something to resist against here. Take a breath. As you exhale, press your chin into the pad. Feel the back of the neck lengthening. You could even make your "oh" sound for me and release. We're going to do exactly that again, another 5 times. As you push down, try and feel the entire length of the spine just lengthening and releasing off a little. Wonderful. Let's just do one more. Great. Okay, take your trousers away. So now we've identified which muscles we use for the gargling and also for the pressure down. Take another breath in. As you exhale, we're going to create the same movement, but then at the last second, try to lift the back of your head away from the floor just a millimeter. I'll show you why it's important to only go a tiny, tiny distance. If you lift too high, immediately your high extensors start to switch on. Those are exactly the muscles we don't want to use right now. So that's why subtlety is really key here. And release. It might be that you don't even lift your head at all, that it's just a suggestion of that. Okay, we'll do this another 3 times together. That's it. Okay, that's all done now. We're going to just roll the head from left to right 2 or 3 times to just loosen off So now we're going to come back up to sitting, and we're going to take our foam roller again. This time the roller is going to be placed across the shoulder, so that the tip of the roller is pointing towards your chin and the rest of it is coming out underneath your arm. Once you're there, you're going to come down onto your tummy, rest your forehead on your hand or on your fist, so that the roller is pushing into the shoulder. From here, we're going to start to swim with our roller arm. And the idea here is to release off the pecs, so releasing off pec major. Now, if you're lucky enough to have one of my little hard black balls, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you want one, send me a message and I'll sort one out for you. You could have the black ball here instead, and that would be just peachy, to be honest. Okay, now keep going with your roller if you have it. I'm going to talk you through the ball a little bit more. If you do have the ball, you're going to roll the ball underneath the collarbone towards the breastbone and back again. So the pressure is just underneath the collarbone. I don't have mine with me, unfortunately. And you're going to do that just a few times. So we'll repeat that on the other side. Of course, feel free to pause if you want to. So again, the roller will be placed just here, lying down on your front with your forehead resting on your other hand or on your fist. And then you can begin to swim for me as well. Thank you. And I'll let you carry on with that while I explain why this is so important. So when the fascia and the muscles tighten up on the chest, we're going to have this situation where the shoulders are rolling forward into internal rotation. As you can see, as soon as I do that, my neck has to then get tight here. Otherwise, I'll just be looking forward down at the floor, wouldn't I? So that's why keeping all of this really, really open, released and relaxed is very important. Our breathing is absolutely key with all of this. Each time you inhale, you're stretching out these muscles and stretching out this fascia. Each time you exhale, again, it's allowing that relaxation to happen. So start to really think about this just as you're going on through the day. Every time you can, just take a pause, try and get the breath deep into the lungs, really expanding the ribs. Okie dokie. So, another way we can do this, I'm going to show you this now, is to come onto our back. This is a lovely technique that I do with my clients when I get to see them, which I hope I do soon. So, on your back, you're going to take one hand and find the tip of your shoulder. Move your hand in a bit, move your fingers in a bit, and then have a little feel around. You're probably going to feel some pretty tight muscle in there. That's pec major. So relax that pressure. Now take your hand and place knuckle down on the floor next to you. We're going to reapply that pressure and then start to slowly stretch out the arm, sliding the arm behind us on the floor. We can return, reapply the pressure, go again, and this will just really help to loosen up the pecs. You might have a lovely person that you're in isolation with that could even help you with this, if you're very fortunate. And I'll show you one more there. Lovely. So another technique, this time we're trying to find pec minor. Now pec minor pulls from about here to here and really assists in internal rotation. So just like I showed you before, if that's happening to you in excess, then it's going to cause problems. We need to now find our deltoid muscle, go underneath it with the fingers, work your way down, and have a little play around in there. You're going to find something there, I hope. Once you've found the offending article, you can stop there, point your fingers at the ceiling. Apply your pressure, and then externally rotate the arm, reaching the arm back, reaching the knuckles back, just gently releasing, stretching off pec minor. And that feels pretty good. Lovely. So I'll leave you with that for a little while. You're going to do both sides, and then when you're ready to unpause me, please do. Lovely to be back with you. So now we're going to do a little bit of oppositional strength work. So as we've already discovered, shoulders rolling forward, the upper trapezius is going into spasm, most likely. So we want to really use the muscles that oppose the upper trapezius to bring the shoulders down and create some relaxation through here. So we're going to sit either on your bottom on the floor, or if you have a table nearby, sit on your table. Your hands are going to be by your sides with the heels of your hands on the floor and your fingers pointing forwards. Your hands will be underneath the shoulder. If you are on a table, your legs are just dangling down ahead of you. If your arms aren't long enough to do this, then grab yourself a couple of books and put your hands on the books instead. So we're going to let the shoulders shrug up towards the ears. We'll take a breath in. Then as you breathe out, pull the ribs closed with your breath and press the heels of the hands down into the floor until your bottom is hovering off the mat or the table. We'll breathe in as we relax back down again. Let the shoulders shrug to the ears. Breathe out, feel the shoulders rolling back a little bit. Feel the collarbones widening as you press all the way down. Some of us are a little bit hypermobile in the elbows. If that's you, please try not to let your elbows turn inside out like I'm doing with this one here. Each time you do this, feel as though the back of your neck is really lengthening. Imagine that you have a ponytail and that there's a balloon attached to the ponytail. As you exhale, pulling up the back of the ponytail, lengthening your neck. Now, if you remember when we were lying down, we needed to nod our head just a little bit in order to lengthen the neck. It's the same movement, so you could add in your beautiful gargle. I hope whoever's in the room with you is laughing their head off at me right now. And we'll go for one more like this. Good, well done. Okay, nice. Roll the shoulders a couple of times, see how that feels. Excellent. Next exercise. When you're practicing this, please practice it in front of a mirror. It's the very best way to practice. You're going to be sitting, kneeling or standing face onto me. Imagine that you have a candle balanced on each shoulder. We're going to slide the head over towards one candle and back to the center. We're going to make sure that we don't drip any of our candle wax while we're doing this. Now you've got another teeny tiny candle balanced on the top of each ear somehow. Don't know how, but that's what we're going to go with. So you're going to try not to tip the head in any way. Instead, we're sliding from side to side. Nice. So once you've mastered this, you can try an easier movement. You're just going to slide the head forward and then slide the head back. Sliding it forward, we know how to do that. Sliding it back, that's our gargle position. Easy peasy. Now, can we join the two movements together? So we're going to circle the head on the shoulders. It's a bit like you've been decapitated and your head's been popped onto a record player. And round we go. Reverse for me now. Wonderful. And we can release there. Good, we'll just take a little gentle twist from side to side. Lovely work. Okie dokie. So for our final part of this today, we're going to take our band, and a pair of tights is, like I say, absolutely fine as well, although investing in a band is a very good idea if you can. We're going to stand on the band with both feet, and the band will be quite tight so that as we stand tall, the shoulders are being pulled down towards the floor. That on its own feels marvellous. Make sure that the bands are equal tension on each side. And then we're going to slowly bring the chin to the chest, gently stretching out our upper trapezius. And come back up, bring the head back up onto the shoulders. This time, take the head down to the chest and then roll the head towards the left shoulder. Feel the right side of trapezius really getting a nice stretch. You can take the head back to the center. Roll the head gently to the to the right. Opening up the left side of trapezius. And we can just keep going from left to right, never holding the stretch for too long. Nice. Bring your head back to the center. Roll the shoulders towards the ears as you breathe in. As you breathe out, open up the collarbones, let the shoulders relax. Twice more for me now. Wonderful. We can bend the knees, release the band, and with that, you're done. Try doing this maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and please feedback to me on how it felt, what you felt was useful, so that I can make our next video even